I don't have anybody. But now, you said Dimash, and I went to the police station, so I want to go open the case. And there's one of my older daughters in the house. And that day she did put this gun in the sofa, and they closed the door, the house door. Say, yeah, today you must talk. When I live in Alexandria, not far from the police station, I just when I ran, because I was scared if he see me, maybe he can come behind me with a gun and shoot me on the street or something. I just ran. I was praying, oh God, help me. If I'm inside the police station, I'll be safe. And same day, I came with the police van, they dropped by the house, and the police take them. He went, they closed him, he was in jail. Now I was thinking, I don't have family here. He will go to jail, but after 2 days, he will come out again. You find me the house, you say me, now you put him in jail, but you still sit in my house. You see, there was a lady who worked there in the police station, I don't know her position, and I tell her my story. And then she said, no, this is a very serious matter, you see. They said that person must not come out, no bail, nothing, because his wife is scared if he come back home, you're gonna kill her. From there, the captain said, you can go home, you'll be safe. They transfer him to Sun City. We say, are you sure she won't come out? The captain said, sure, he won't come out. I was thinking, okay, he's in Sun City, but somehow he won't stay in Sun City forever. Somehow you're gonna come out. What about if you're gonna come home and find me there? And the captain, he also tried to find some organization who help human abuse. He tried to phone, and the police dropped me by NISAA's office. I left my 2 kids behind because there's nothing that I can do. I'm gonna take the kid where you go. I'm gonna stay with the kids. And what about school? The first one is 18. He's doing matric this year. My daughter is in grade 11.
NISAA actually means women in Arabic. A lot of people tend to misidentify it as an acronym, but the acronym is actually NIWD, which is NISAA Institute for Women's Development. Initially, when we started, we were mainly a group of Muslim women who had started the organization, so we used that name. However, we knew from the inception that it would be non-denominational. But we decided then just to keep the name, because by the time we continued, within a year or two, people got to know the name, and we felt that if we kind of changed the name, it wouldn't really make any sense. That is kind of our trademark, as it were, so we may as well keep it.
Person who came through the right? So already they went through this process, delayed phase, resolution phase. They did a lot of talking. So I don't want to talk anymore. It's over. I don't want to talk. I don't want everybody to yell all the time. Don't remind me it happened. How do I go forward? This is our one.
We look at dealing with women that come out of abusive relationships. But we also look beyond that when we look at empowering women. So if you had violence in the actual name, it kind of meant that we perhaps don't go beyond that. So when we look at women's development, you're giving women an opportunity, and it also allows NISAA the scope for that kind of growth. So it was a little bit more forward-looking.
I stay with an abusive man. He's so abusive. It's alcoholism.
Ka ithuta ntho tse ngata ko NISAA. Ka ithuta ho ikemela, ho ba a breadwinner, hore ha o le mosadi o se ka dumella go hlekefetswa.
Njalo nje maybe emsebenzini ingiphuce lokho okuncane ngikutholayo. Ngokungisha ngoba kwakumuntu onesandla.
Até sempre tem uma pessoa que faz confusão, mas eu sempre quando ele faz confusão eu calava. Então, em 2001, ele me acusou, ele disse eu dormi com um amigo dele. I was even affair with his friend.
Essentially, we started with a shelter, as I told you, and what we realized that even though we were offering a service at the shelter, we had women coming back to our offices and telling us that when we go to the police, we struggle. And if there were 20 or 30 or 40 women saying the same thing, we realized that we needed to have another approach in order to deal with the problem. So if we were going to the police or going to some higher body, we needed to be able to advocate on behalf of those women. And that meant that you needed to start looking at things like advocacy. You can't just run a shelter and ignore the problems women come up with if they were repeatedly happening and no one's doing anything about it on a wider scope.
When we get the women in the shelter, they're very traumatized. They've just been beaten up and they've just left the relationship. They're always crying and hurt and miserable. After a few days staying in the shelter, the environment has changed.
It's like a second home, where in terms of they're free here at the shelter, and it's a place that gives them hope also.
They feel comfortable as they know that nobody will come and interrupt them. Even at night, they're safe.
They can be happy again. That's for us is a major achievement, just to get them to smile again.
They feel that they need to go out there and help other women also. So that is something that is so amazing for us here also. That, it gives us an impression that NISAA is doing a perfect job.
They support it because we have the counselors supporting them.
The counseling started with the shelter, and then that got widened to kind of include women and children from the broader community as well.
How are you? I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right.
I want to see one of your counselors.
Okay, ma'am, you may have a seat.
Thank you.
Jabu, there's a client for you. Thank you. She's coming.
Moving from one-to-one counseling, I found that it becomes more easier if I conduct a group counseling. Because in group counseling, when you have those women who have been abused, who are coming from abusive relationships, it becomes more easy to group them. And because during interaction with each other, they are able to gain more insight into their problems, and they are able also to heal, to move, to shift from the concept of abuse to start to realize that they can do things for themselves and they can move out of the cycle of abuse. Firstly, the woman would come sometimes complaining about the husband or the partner, and you gather information.
Indawo yaseNISAA ngayazi ngokuthi ngangihluphekile kakhulu ubaba abantwana engishaya noma ngimbophisa bangakhona ukumbopha sasihlale eOrange Farm.
A woman has to realize who she is in the relationship, but she's not a victim, that she has never been meant to be a victim, and also moving from victimhood to empowerment. She can work towards being empowered. She can also empower herself.
Lapha NISAA mawufika nifike nihlaliswe nenziswa ama-test nibuzisiswe kahle nabo bacheck ukuthi umqondo wakho awudukanga uyaphila na. Nifundise ukuthi umuntu yini oyithandayo yini ongayithandi. Ngafunda ukuthi umuntu ufuna ukuyimele ungemi ngomunye umuntu usebenze.
Resources are obviously a very big challenge for us. We don't per se give people money to go out and start a business, but what we do is give them the tools with which to enable them to become self-employed or employed in other situations. The ladies in Orange Farm, again selling vegetables, learned how to plant vegetables, learned how to grow vegetables, and then went out to sell them. So we provide the means, the vehicle with which to empower yourself to get to a point where you can become self-sustainable. So we don't offer job security, but we try and foster employment security. And I think that's been a thread throughout the NISAA existence, in that we actually don't just foist projects and programs onto people, that we actually look at the needs of the people, of the communities, and incorporate their needs into what services we think we should provide.
What NISAA has done for me was to sensitize me in terms of what women go through intensely, and seeing that women are valuable.
And then we do a whole range of training, kind of from the grassroots up to, the stakeholders, as it were. So we would work with communities at grassroots level, offering counseling, introduction to counseling, basic counseling skills. We run an advanced counseling program. We do a program that looks at the interface between HIV/AIDS and gender-based violence. We also look at working with stakeholders such as the police. We've done some work with judges. We've done some work with paramedics. So anyone who's really involved, and is at the front line of working with abused women are people that we would engage with.
Training is a 14-week course. We start off with a session on gender, where we discuss gender issues, and then we look at abuse. We look at abuse, the different types of abuse, the myths around abuse, and then we look at rape. We spend a session or two on rape, where we look at the